let's get right into it. Number 7. The Curse of Timur's Tomb. Imagine being so scary that you're still terrifying people centuries after you die. That's Timur for you, a warlord who killed about 5% of the world's population during his conquests. His tomb had a creepy warning carved into it: "Whoever opens my tomb shall unleash an invader more terrible than I." But in June 1941, a bunch of Soviet scientists decided to crack open his tomb. The local people literally begged the scientists not to open it, but scientists being scientists, they went ahead and popped that tomb open anyway. Just 2 days after they disturbed Timur's bones, Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, the biggest invasion in European history. The Soviets started losing the war pretty badly, so someone decided maybe they should put the angry warlord back in his box. They reburied Timur with full Islamic rites in November 1942, and right after that, the Soviets started winning at Stalingrad. The tide of the entire war turned. The Soviets, who didn't believe in any supernatural stuff, were like, yeah, maybe let's just leave this one alone. Timur's tomb hasn't been opened since. Number 6. The Cigars that changed the Civil War. Imagine losing a war because you wrapped your secret battle plans around some cigars. That's exactly what happened during the Civil War. It was September 1862, and Union Corporal Barton Mitchell spots something weird in the grass. 3 cigars wrapped in paper. Now, most people would have just grabbed the cigars and had a nice smoke break, but Mitchell decided to check out the paper first. Turns out, this wasn't just any old wrapper. It was Confederate General Robert E. Lee's entire battle plan. The South's top-secret strategy was being used as a cigar wrapper. It would be like finding Russia's nuclear codes written on a McDonald's napkin. This was Special Order 191, detailing exactly how Lee planned to split up his army. When Union General McClellan got his hands on these plans, he couldn't believe his luck. He literally said, "Now I know what to do." It's like someone just gave him the cheat codes to the Civil War. This discovery led to the Battle of Antietam, the bloodiest single day in American military history. That's got to be the most expensive cigar wrapper in history. Number 5. The Comet and the Conqueror. Imagine being King Harold of England in 1066, when suddenly everyone starts freaking out about a weird light in the sky. This wasn't just any light, it was Halley's Comet. Basically a giant space rock that shows up every 76 years to mess with people's heads. Now, if you're Harold, this is really bad news. Your people are convinced this cosmic party crasher is basically a giant "you're doomed" sign written in the stars. But across the water, William of Normandy is looking at the exact same comet and thinking, perfect timing. This guy literally used a space rock as his campaign ad. He's telling his soldiers, "See that thing up there? That's God's way of saying I should be King of England." It was the world's first cosmic propaganda battle, and William absolutely crushed it. They were so obsessed with this comet that they actually stitched it into the Bayeux Tapestry, a 230-foot-long medieval flex tape that tells the whole story. A few months after the comet appeared, William invaded England and defeated Harold's army. Harold actually got an arrow through his eye during the battle. So basically, if this space rock had picked literally any other year to show up, English history might have turned out completely different. Number 4. The Rain That Saved a Revolution. It's August 1776, and George Washington's entire army is trapped like rats. He's outnumbered, surrounded, and his troops are exhausted at the Battle of Long Island. If Washington loses here, the American Revolution is basically over before it even gets going. So he comes up with a desperate plan. They need to escape across the East River at night. But there's a huge problem. As soon as the sun comes up, the British will see them trying to escape. Just as dawn is about to break and expose their position, something bizarre happens. A fog rolls in. This isn't your regular fog. This is the kind of fog that's so thick you couldn't see your hand if you slapped yourself in the face with it. Under this natural smokescreen, Washington's army starts their great escape. The fog is so dense it even muffles the sound of 9,000 soldiers trying not to sneeze. And just when the last American soldier makes it across, the fog lifts like it was never there. The British wake up to find their prey has vanished into thin air. If that fog hadn't shown up exactly when it did, we might all be drinking tea and calling soccer football right now. Mother Nature basically said, "Not today, King George." Number 3. The moldy dish that saved millions. Imagine being so messy at your job that you accidentally save millions of lives. Take Alexander Fleming back in 1928. This guy comes back from vacation to find his lab looking like a teenager's bedroom. He'd left some petri dishes with bacteria just sitting there, completely uncovered. When he came back, he noticed something weird in one of the dishes. There was this patch of mold growing in it. but all the bacteria around the mold was dead. It's like the mold had its own tiny force field that was killing all the bacteria around it. This wasn't just any mold, though. It was from the Penicillium family. Think of it as nature's own hitman, specifically designed to take out bacteria. Before this accidental discovery, getting a small cut could literally kill you. Hospitals were basically waiting rooms for death, filled with people dying from simple infections. A scraped knee could turn into a death sentence, but this moldy discovery changed everything. The funny part is Fleming couldn't figure out how to make enough of it to be useful. It took 2 other scientists during World War II to finally crack that code, all because one scientist forgot to clean up his lab before going on vacation. Number 2. The failed experiment that colored the world. Can you imagine being so bad at your job that you accidentally create an entire industry? Well, that's exactly what happened to William Henry Perkin, an 18-year-old chemistry student who was trying to cure malaria. Instead, he invented purple. See, back in 1856, if you wanted purple clothes, you had to squeeze thousands of sea snails to death to get the dye. It took 12,000 snails to make 1 gram of purple dye. That's why only super rich people could afford purple clothes. But William wasn't thinking about any of that. He was in his home lab, trying to make artificial quinine, a malaria medicine, and he messed up so badly that he created a thick, sticky purple sludge. Most people would have just cleaned up and started over, but William noticed this stuff was staining everything it touches. His purple goop could be made in a lab using cheap coal tar. Suddenly, everyone could afford to wear purple. This happy accident didn't just change fashion. It kick-started the entire synthetic dye industry, and all those experiments with dyes led to the creation of modern medicine. Because this kid couldn't make medicine, he accidentally helped create medicine. Number 1. The volcano that birthed a monster. In 1815, Mount Tambora in Indonesia decided to throw the biggest tantrum in recorded history. This thing spewed so much ash into the sky that it basically gave Earth a giant sunblock. The ash spread around the whole planet like a massive umbrella, blocking out the sun's rays. The following year, 1816, became known as the Year Without a Summer. People were seeing snow in June. Crops were dying everywhere. Over in Switzerland, this gloomy weather trapped a bunch of writers in a mansion by Lake Geneva. They were probably planning on having a nice summer vacation, but instead, they got stuck inside while nature had its breakdown outside. So what do you do when you're trapped inside with a bunch of writers, and the world looks like it's ending? You have a ghost story contest. Among these writers was Mary Shelley. All that doom and gloom got her creative juices flowing. She started writing about a scientist who creates a monster. That story became Frankenstein, basically inventing science fiction and horror as we know it. A massive natural disaster that killed thousands and caused global famine also gave us a story about a man-made monster that we're still obsessing over 200 years later. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.